fingers and pulling triggers that we're not realizing that bullets have no names. And we're killing our kids, not just through these bullets, but through the abuse we're giving them through the community and in our homes. Because the abuse is not just in our schools. The abuse these kids suffer are in their homes with people they also love. At times, some of these kids live with their own enemy, and people don't realize it. And I am tired of seeing caskets no bigger than 3 feet underground lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hey, Carol, how
Hey
are you
there.
doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. Everybody say hi to Carol
Mhm.
Ryder. Hold on. Those were some great points. And you are so true. I'm going to tell you, I did not realize how bad incest and molestation ran deep in families
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
with kids. I did not realize this
Yes.
until my fight, well, for our family friend. And then, he was abused. It's just, I learned so much stuff. Stuff got deep, you know.
That's why I read these poems,
So,
and they, they inspire somebody and they motivate. Because listen, these poems is the way I see the world. Every story I hear, every person that talks about what they've been through or how they overcome, I write it into a poem. Like nobody knows who they are, what they are. Everybody can relate to it. So,
right.
like at the end of the day, it's like it's only but so much that as a human I could hold in without shedding tears. So why not write it down?
Yeah.
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 Hey, can
Yeah.
I say something?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Floor is
Okay.
yours.
Thank you. So I'm a ex teacher. Well, a retired teacher. And so first thing when you all are talking about doing a petition and things, I think that's great. Children, the reason there is no cameras right now and in the schools in the classrooms is because children are protected. You don't know who is looking at that child, who's after that child, or whatever. So
Yeah,
children
because
are
they are a
protected
minor.
under law, right?
With
And
the
so
racism.
Yeah.
even if you go to like an event, you and like you see on YouTube, if you're vlogging, you're not supposed to vlog other people's children. Children
Mm-hmm.
are
Right.
protected under law.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big reason why there are no cameras in the classrooms. But as a parent, also, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a parent. And so what happens as a parent is you have to protect your child, but you also, as a parent, have superior rights. Parents
Mm-hmm.
have to use the rights they have.
Yeah.
If it's enough parents go up to a school or go to a school board,
Mm-hmm.
things will change. But
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
too many parents who will not open up their mouths.
Mm.
Yes.
So there
Yeah.
is nothing that's
Hmm.
going to be done if they can get you not to open up your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Just
We
like
agree on that
the
point.
prices of food is going up, the prices of everything is ridiculous. How do we solve this problem? Let me tell you how you solve it. You get everybody or as many people as you can on one accord and say, I want everybody only to shop at the stores on Monday and Friday. Okay, you're
I like
talking
how
to
she's
the
talking. I'm
right.
gonna listen down below. I'm gonna listen down below. Yo,
Okay,
she's spitting bars, y'all. Listen to it. I agree with everything she is saying. Like, but I still think the camera thing because I gotta go pick up a daughter is still
okay,
important. And when I get on my channel, I'll explain a little more because I spoke to the bull. I spoke to Tom Wolf. I mean, I'm his assistant, the bull that goes and speaks on his behalf on these meetings. And he
okay,
told me it is possible to get the cameras in, but we
okay.
have to stand up. That's why I got that
Yeah.
petition there because of a bill, because she's right on what she was saying exactly. And he broke it down. So she is not lying. She's spitting bars. Listen carefully to what this lady is saying. Shout out to you, Miss Carol. I'm gonna
Thank
listen
you.
down on the chat while I'm picking up my daughter.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here for you, Ryder. I've
Facts.
always told you that.
Yo, she
See
breaking it
this?
down. So listen to
Yeah.
what she's saying. So I like how she said that because she's not lying on that
Okay.
point saying about the privacy part. But as
Okay.
parents, we do need to figure it out. If the camera
Right.
Yep.
doesn't work, we gotta
Yep.
stand up. Like I said, united we listen. We united we united we conquer the world. Divided we just gonna crumble.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Hmm.
listen to that.
Absolutely.
But I'm so sorry to break you. I just had to get out real
No,
quick.
no
Yeah, that's
problem.
okay.
Point.
You know
No.
what? Here's the thing. I like to say this. I go to a men's preface every month, and we talk about responsibility of a father, a responsibility as a man. We do that every month. So we talk about everything that's going on now. And we got to do that. We got to get. A lot of parents won't do that. They won't. They won't speak about anything. You got to know when the school board is meeting. You got to be. You got to be at the school board meeting. I have a friend of mine that said, if you want change in your school, you got to be at the meeting. You got to have more on your side when you go talk to these guys, people. They work for
Yeah.
you. If they're
Yeah.
not doing their job, you could vote them out. But you got to
Yeah.
speak up and say, hey,
Right.
my kids are having this problem at this school. Or
Right.
my kid bought this book home from school and I don't approve of it. See,
Yeah.
now you got to speak your mind.
Yeah.
You gotta speak up. Some
Right.
people say they don't have
Okay, let Miss Carol finish what she was saying when she had first started.
okay.
Um, okay.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying, and then when you going into the school board, to the schools with these things, you have to know you have to focus on one thing. Just if you're trying, I mean, if you're trying to fight racism, if you're trying, whatever problem you're trying to fight, you all have to focus on one thing. Because when you get in these meetings, these people, you're going to start one thing and then you're going to run to something else and run to something else and nothing's going to get done. So if the focus on putting on cameras, that has to be the entire focus. You cannot go to, and then my child did this, and then it should be bullying, and it should be that. You can't go around the circle with things because people only understand one thing.
Mhm.
So when she does that thing, make sure she focuses only on the cameras and leave it that. Now, the
Mhm.
thing that I had went to the side is also with us as people, everybody in this country is so tired of food prices going up, gas going, everything is ridiculous, but the rich is still getting richer. So we all have to put in a plan. Why don't we all just go to the stores on Monday and Friday? Okay, you do that for a couple of weeks. I'm telling you, the government's going to go, oh, ho, 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 what's going on? Let's lower these prices because these people
Mhm.
can't afford to shop. I don't know
Yeah.
why people don't understand that you have to fight. You fight money with money. You know what I'm saying? Take our
Right.
money back. Take our money back. If we gonna go with the gas, put certain days. And then I know you're not gonna get the whole country to do this, but if you can get a significant amount of people to do this, then this is a problem that can be solved. You know what I'm saying? People have to be able to speak up. But then let me just go this way right quick. Mental health is off the chain. When COVID, well, I don't want to say that on your channel, but when the C word came,
Yeah.
it took a lot of people out, but mentally, it took a lot of people out. It took me out mentally. That don't blame yourselves for going, through all this mental health going crazy and stuff because it happened to people. It's still happening to people. So whose fault is it? It's the government. We pay into a government to protect us. They gave us a check for $2,000. In Canada, they got $2,000 for over 2 years every month because nobody demanded it. Everybody started talking about, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. No, you demand what you want. And the government, when you pay your taxes, you're paying for what the government gave you. They still owe you a whole lot of money, y'all. So that little $2,000 y'all got was nothing. And the government
Oh,
was
we
like,
know.
I know, and the government was like, okay, they don't want no more money. They want to go back to work. Well, then let us make them go ahead and go back to work. Now people going back to work, they can't find jobs. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going back to work, you got mental health, you got all these issues, you got all these bills coming up. It's the
Mhm.
Yeah,
government.
because a lot of people they don't like dealing with people in the public anymore.
Yeah,
People are terrified.
yep, that's true. That is so
No,
true.
seriously. People are no, you're laughing. People are terrified
Yep.
to go out now. And you think some people that they'll never go back to work. Some
Exactly.
people are traumatized just from watching TV, looking at people being shot.
Mm.
Do you know all of the mass shootings and stuff we had? Those
Mm-hmm.
people are affected. Those are traumatized people
Yep.
that we have to grow up with.
Yep. Yep.
Now, yeah, okay, we're gonna talk about. Here's the thing about shooting and everything like that.
They would walk to work. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they got
Martin
you.
Luther.
You had to work. You had to work, uh, and your full time job is to find a job. If you don't have a work, if you're not working, your job is to find a full time job. Instead of to come and knock on your door and say, "Hey, you want to work?" You got to go out full time to look for a job. If you don't have a job, that is your job. You have to
Well,
go out and find
now
a
most
job.
jobs you don't go out to. You go on the internet and you fill out the application. It's not that many jobs you go out to no more to fill out the application. It's
Well,
Yeah,
on
you
you
the
don't.
do.
Do
internet.
they
It's
even
still,
interview
yeah,
people anymore?
Right.
yeah,
Well, you
No,
do your
not
they
at all.
do.
interview.
Depend
They
on
You
what
do.
you
the
do
job
your
is.
interview over a Zoom meeting or
Yep.
Yeah,
something.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
have to do that. You cannot be a part time looking for a job. It's a full time job to find a job. My father said that. My father also said, "Hey, when I was younger, when I was graduating high school, he told me before you graduate, you got to have a full time job because when you graduate, you have 6 months to find your place." I found me a place. I had a full time job. It
Okay.
starts at the home. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
Education
That's true.
starts at the home.
Everything starts at home.
It's not the government's job to teach your kids how to find a job. It is the parents' job. It is the uncle's job. It is the aunt's job. It's the cousin's job. You got to have that before you go out to work, before you get out of high school. You got to have that mind straight up and say, hey, nobody's going to give me that money. I got to work for it. I want to work. When I graduated high school, I had a full time job. I was working at a restaurant, great job, 40 hours. And then I said, hey, I need to make more money. That's why I started my own lawn service.
Okay. That's
I was always working because I
okay, but
like
that's
stuff.
bad that you're always working.
No,
Because what happens is if you always working, by the time you get to the age of 50, I'm gonna say 45, 50, something like that, your knees gone, your body is shot, but they want you to work to almost 79. That's not how people
but
do things in
no,
real life.
I got
That's not good.
I got to totally disagree with
And
you.
then,
Totally,
then
I got to totally
back
disagree
in
with you.
those days, then you could, when we graduated, yeah, we can get our own apartments and own cars. Things wasn't high.
Right.
These days, rent is so high. You
Sure
know,
is.
you
You,
can't let
you,
your kids will never make it out there on their own now.
Nope.
They
my,
really
Nope.
have to stay at home.
Yep. That's true.
Now here's the thing. My sister has 6 kids. The oldest kid is at LSU right now. The next three of them have jobs, still in school, have jobs. My sister said, "Hey, you can have a part time job, but when you get to your senior year, you gotta have a full time job." That was the rules. People don't want to work. People are lazy.
No.
No, I don't
Well,
believe. No, 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 no.
Okay,
I don't agree with that. I
let me
don't
put
agree
this
with
I
that at
don't,
all.
neither do I.
let me put this in things. For example, when you graduate high school, you got to have education. Education is the key. You got to find you a job, full time job, part time job. You got to find a job. You cannot be lazy. You cannot depend on the government for anything except for your security.
Well,
That's
then
it.
why are we paying them our taxes if we can't depend on the government? That's who we're paying it to, just like a mafia. You
But
pay the mafia, they protect you. So why am I giving
And
you my taxes if you ain't gonna give me anything?
you know
exactly.
the
And look
government.
how long they keep our money.
The,
Hey,
go-
Exactly.
everybody, let's welcome in my great, beautiful friend, Dear Dana, she has a great show.
Oh,
Um,
thank
Hey, Dana, how are you?
Good
Hey,
good morning. Good conversation. I like it.
I don't jump in on anybody. I just wait.
Oh no, go ahead.
okay,
Go ahead.
go on. The floor is yours.
Yep.
I was I usually comment, but I thought I just love her, so I thought I'm going to jump in on. Well, I don't look too scary, but
Oh, please. Then you do
um,
not.
I was thinking about all this important conversation, and in the chat, my daughter was bullied in elementary school,
Okay.
and she's not an ugly child, but she was uh, emotionally intelligent beyond her years because my little boy was rare and he was in a wheelchair and he didn't age but a third of the rate we do, literally. And he
Okay.
was medically rare and had some close calls where we almost lost him early. And she'd seen a lot. So
Okay.
it matured her quick.
Mm-hmm.
And because she was mature beyond her years, she got bullied hard.
Okay.
And she decided she was going to create an anti bully club.
Okay. Okay.
And she did that young because it was harsh in elementary school, even.
Okay.
And it starts young. And my background is a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist. And no, I don't make people quack. I do it to help them with everything that ails them. But the,
Mm-hmm.
the point being, she'd seen so much, and kids grow up fast. And I have found that kids that bully, they're getting it hard at home.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They're
Mm-hmm.
not being treated well at home.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
they come to school and project that pain on kids at school.
Right.
So the families typically need to be investigated.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yes.
if the school would utilize good kids to befriend, special needs kids and maybe some of the bullies, that maybe that would turn around because you would dive deeper into what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hmm.
And as far as the food thing, girl, sir, um, I found out some truth about some of the stuff we're buying now.
Uh-huh.
You're getting less and less food in the packages,
You sure are. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it. Yep.
and they're charging the same or more to
Mm-hmm.
psychologically trick us, and that's the truth.
Exactly.
And not only are the healthy foods were expensive before, they're 2 and 3 times more in cost.
Exactly.
And you can have 2 people in the household working and still can't afford hardly to feed our families.
And that's true.
So if we really wanna call truth to power, we will speak to the government, but we also can affect them now if
Mm-hmm.
we start growing our vegetables
Yep.
and trade with our neighbors.
Yep.
And if we want meats, you literally can go to your local farmers that are growing, um, you know, raising cattle and stuff like that. And do you
Mm-hmm.
know that they will directly sell you meat
Oh,
and
okay.
cut out the grocery
Okay.
stores?
Okay. Hmm.
So if we want to affect our grocery stores where it hurts, we will start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's
but we too busy not liking somebody because of their race, color, or religion, or if they like Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
well, we
Jesus.
we got to jump off our
That's
ego because here's the truth.
right. That's
We're
that's
about
just
to go,
how ignorant of a people that we become now.
but here's the
We
thing.
yeah.
Joe Biden, and this is not about who I like or don't like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like neither one of them now.
Me either.
Neither do I.
Me either.
Me neither.
When Biden got into government, I knew from, and this comes from my background, my occupation, um, and I'm just now kicking off my practice because after I lost my little boy 6 years ago,
Oh
I
my
was in a
God. I'm
heavy
sorry
grief
for you.
state,
Yeah,
and
hold
I
on,
Okay.
dear.
didn't
Okay.
know I would go back to helping people or not, but I am now because
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop because it's in me.
Okay.
Um, but the point being, and then I got diagnosed with MS too.
Oh,
Uh, but the point being is, when Biden got in office, I knew, because of what I do, that he was suffering from the beginning of dementia or
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm.
I
I'm
knew
gonna
it already. Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He
Hmm.
has not been running our country.
No,
No,
he hasn't.
no, he's
No, he
Yeah,
hasn't.
everybody knows that.
And he cannot
everybody.
do another term. He
Someone
cannot.
is running it for him. I
Yep.
don't know who it is, and it's not
Yep.
Camilla.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right.
That's why you don't
Yeah.
get to see a lot of her.
Uh-huh.
So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know who's running the country. And
Nobody.
so
It's,
that
you
is
know, no,
Yeah.
that
thank you for saying that. I think I know who's running it. It's the people that used to be in the Obama administration that's
Yeah.
running it. A
and
lot of people don't.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of
But
people don't
like
want
I
to.
said, yeah, we don't. We, you know, we got too many issues where we
Hmm.
can't come together now.
it,
More things to divide us.
Yeah.
So
but
you
I don't
know,
know that it's things to divide us right now. Our whole country should be terrified because our families cannot take care of themselves. I don't care if you're
Hmm.
Sure can.
black, white, purple, green, or orange.
Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely.
yeah, rent is high, mortgages are high,
Morgan.
kids can't leave home, and like sweet,
I mean, my husband's older than me, and his company went out of business a few months ago,
Mhm.
and he cannot find a job to save his life.
See? See? Yep.
And
right?
you're
That's what
sitting,
I was saying. Everybody can't find.
uh-oh, did she
Oh,
go
that's
out?
good.
And
Her thing went off.
the point of the matter is, he's not old, but he's in IT. So you
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
got all those 20-something-year-olds coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and he's getting interviewed, and then he gets ghosted.
Wow.
So he's in IT,
Yeah,
and basically he's he just it's he's been in a company for so many years, and I was in the same situation. I was in the restaurant industry for years, and then I said, "Wait a minute, this is not going on. I need to prepare myself for a different part of my career." So that's why I started my own business, like I said
yeah.
before. And
Mm-hmm.
then the restaurant I went was working for years without a business. Yeah, this is a good time to start your own business if you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's why I'm launching my
the-
practice right now, because I can go worldwide or local
yeah, uh,
to help
a
people.
lot of people now are working at home, which is great. Uh, it saves money for daycare. It saves money for for gas and everything. If you have the wits to work at home, if I know he's probably is he certified for Microsoft?
I'm not. Look, that is not my jam.
Yeah. Well,
I'm right
yeah.
brained and I help people, and he does IT. So he talks to me about it, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, younger and cheaper. IT is a young person's game now.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
'Cause I
not
couldn't get up in that type of work.
not
I ain't
not
gonna lie about it.
not necessarily because I'm in my 50s and I taught myself how to build computers, how to update my software, how to doing YouTube. This is good. It keeps me busy. You gotta have something that you like. You gotta have a backup plan. You gotta have a backup plan for everything you do.
yeah,
Yeah,
You have to have it because if something happens, if I was at a job and I got laid off or they went out of business, I got to depend on myself the backup plan because nobody else is going to do that for you. You got to do it yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, and the way that's how the world works. It works like that, and I've been very very happy for when I would have my own business, cutting grass, weed eating, edging, flower beds, and it was a year-round job. Um, During the winter, I used to pick up leaves. I had a commercial mower, so I had a riding lawnmower, so I had a blade in there. I pick up leaves. I made more money during the winter than I did during the summer.
Wow.
It's called
Okay, that's great. That's yeah. Um, Swoop like me, she says that they're always trying to put in place a way to stop farmers and people that
Mhm.
grow their own.
Yep.
Pennsylvania in court now with the farmer trying to take his land.
Oh
Yep.
Lord.
Yep.
Pennsylvania. what What do you expect from Pennsylvania?
Look, we
I mean,
even have thought about, do we need to sell our house and take the
Mm.
equity and get one of those tiny homes or get one
See,
of those cabins and put it on a piece of land
a piece of land.
so we
Yep.
can be debt free?
Yep. Yep.
hmm
I mean, it's
yeah.
that
Yeah.
scary.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. See,
I thought about that.
there's a lot of people in Texas that do that same thing. They buy the land and they build their own house.
We're talking
And
about one of those tiny homes that you
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
I
I
know what
mean,
you're
yeah,
talking.
I
that,
wouldn't mind having one of those tiny
yeah,
homes.
a tiny
I
Yeah.
house
was
and
looking into those.
yeah. See, down here in Texas, you could buy at least 3 acres of land less than 100 grand.
Yeah, I'm not talking
And
about
then
saving
the
100 grand.
house,
Okay.
yeah, well, yeah, you still have to get a loan
No.
and everything like that, but
That's
it's
a lot.
easy. It's a lot, yes. That's why you got a plan. Got everything from when you graduate high school until now. It is a plan.
That's been a long time ago, baby.
Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
spent
Baby,
it
let me
5 years
tell
ago.
you, we done went through 20 plans. I done went through
Okay.
20 plans. All
Come on.
right. I'm 61 and I still got another plan I'm going
Oh,
through
yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
and when you
Right.
got MS and you don't have
See?
insurance, the
You got
medicine's
Woo!
expensive.
See? It is.
I mean, one of my
Now,
medicines is
how come you don't have insurance, dear Dana?
that's
Oh,
what I
Joe
say.
Biden says
That's what
every
I was curious
American
to say.
has insurance.
nope.
Right,
I
right,
fall through
right.
I fall through the cracks. One of my medicines recently, $13,000 a month,
Ooh.
and I
See?
was scrambling. And it's my main MS medicine that slows the progression.
Yeah.
And I was scrambling to figure out how I was going to get that medicine.
Mm, mm, mm,
And
mm.
one of the men from Shark Tank, you know that
Uh-huh.
show,
Yeah.
had a site that my doctor found that from 13,000 I can get it for $30. Now figure that one out.
Oh,
Wow.
that's like a generic brand.
Oh, thank
That's,
God.
Thank
No,
that's
goodness.
not
the
a generic
generic
brand. Yeah.
the generic was $13,000.
And
See?
you found one that's well, you got very very lucky to find that.
Yeah, my neurologist from MS Center of Atlanta, now they've changed the name, found it from Mark Cuban's site from Shark Tank that
Mhm.
made it available. That one place.
See? See this?
One place.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then
that
you have to search. You know what I'm saying? You're
Mhm.
searching for that.
right.
Yeah,
You
you
know
just
how
got
sick
to.
that makes you, though, especially if you have an illness, because you know I have chronic back, low back pain. If
Mm-hmm.
you have an illness already and you have to search on how you're going to survive, how you're going to eat, how you're going to get your medicine, how this is going to happen, how your kids going to find, you know, that wears your whole body down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you got
And
to.
Tell me
so
about
what
it.
and so this is another thing that nobody talks about. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to just make this happen because we are in America. This is the thing that's happening in Chicago. So you know how they're bringing over the people from all these other countries, and so when they
Yeah.
brought them over, when they're bringing them over, they're giving them $3,500 a month to live on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're right now. Everybody is protesting. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I had $3,500 a month. So
Not
you're
only
gonna
that,
bring yeah, exactly. So you're gonna bring somebody else over here, give them $3,500 a month. But you should see how many homeless people are in our parks and under the bridges. And I mean, I'm one step from being homeless. You know what I'm saying? If I step to the right, I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? But
not
you're
only
gonna
that,
sit here and take care of people like that?
they give them a loan to start
It's
businesses or
it.
grants to start
Exactly.
businesses.
Yeah,
Exactly. But we don't get a loan to start businesses.
but
I have
here's
I
the
don't have a
thing.
problem with legal
Right.
insulin. I have
Yeah,
no problem with it.
yeah. Now, for example, if you live in Chicago, people that vote for the same people over and over and over again is going to get the same results. You had one mayor was an idiot. And then y'all, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying everybody in Chicago voted for another guy that's worse than an idiot. And then you have the city of Chicago that is sanctuary city. I mean, y'all got to make some noise and say, "Hey, we don't want that in our city." You got to make some noise.
We're
People,
protesting
people,
right now.
people
We're
are not making
protesting
noise
right
right
now.
now.
But
Let
I'm
me tell
telling you, if you
They're,
don't
they're
protest, you
making a
don't
little
do
bit of
nothing.
noise because they're getting paid legal aliens. I call them legal aliens because that's what they are. They're getting money to them. But what about the citizens in Chicago? What about the homeless veterans in Chicago? They don't get
Mm.
nothing. That's
Okay, everybody, hold on, Zen. We want to invite our Bring It Every Day. I
Hello.
don't know where your young Riaz went.
Oh,
I Bring It Every Day has joined the panel. I
hey.
also want to say we had TSW. Oko said to look into Gain Wall Technologies, and I guess that might be an IT company. I Bring
Who?
It Every Day. Um, TSW. It's on the screen. I bring it every day. What you want to say?
Oh,
What you want?
I wanted to tell, is it Dana about the pharmaceutical patient assistance programs? And I
Okay.
don't know which company you're dealing with, but you don't have to tell me. Um, I know for a fact that Abbott Labs or AbbVie does have a patient assistance program for Humira, and that new one.
No,
I forget the
I
name of
was
it.
working with AbbVie. Look, I'm only able to take 2 drugs because I have a,
Yeah.
JC virus on my brain, and the JC virus load is so high that
Mhm.
I'm only able to take 2 drugs because if I take any other drug, they will
Yep.
kill me.
Okay. But anyway, but the bottom line is pharmaceutical companies do have patient assistance programs for
I
those
was
medications, for
yeah,
the biologics.
I was using AbbVie and they stopped with the patient assistant program that I was using. That's why I got in trouble.
Oh, okay.
I
So that's
wasn't able
interesting.
to get the
Yeah.
drug. I was using Abagio.
Okay. Yeah. So
And they
anyway, so and that's for any drug, not necessarily. Now the biologics are a little bit tougher
mhm,
to
yeah,
mhm,
get than the
yeah.
pills, the regular pills. But
mhm,
I just wanted to make that, make everybody aware.
Thank you.
You can go through a lot of them. They have a specific website or a specific link on their
Mhm.
websites for the patient assistance program, and they do have. A lot of times they'll give it to you for 10, 5, $20, depending,
Thank you.
mhm.
which company. But anyway, I just want to make sure people are aware of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
thank
in there
you.
and they closed it and that's how I got in trouble.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure what's going on there. I used to work there too. So I know a lot of, I used to get people patients assistance all the time
Thank you so
for the
much.
Good.
products that I was
Oh.
doing. Yeah, I used to get it all the time. And I would even do the I bring it every day patient assistance program, and I'd back my truck up and give them free product, all the time.
Oh,
That's very
Yeah.
Mhm,
kind.
Oh,
mhm.
thank God for people like you.
okay.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
Yeah.
know how it is out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
It's
The medical field is really tough
Yep.
yeah.
with the
Mhm,
prices of drugs, and also doctors' visits and things like that. All that stuff's really, really expensive, and that's why we went through that big upheaval, with Obamacare and stuff. But the problem is, I don't think they thought it all the way through, and they sort of pushed it through, in my opinion.
Hmm.
mhm,
And
Yeah,
so
like people like me fall through the crack and it's scary.
mhm,
yes,
mhm.
because the thing
Well,
is,
a woman like me,
yeah,
I fall through the cracks
really.
because yeah, see. I've been getting disability since 2017,
And I
Ooh.
don't get it.
Okay.
I don't get
and
Mm-hmm.
it. I haven't
I wasn't even 60, right? The
Yeah.
radiation damaged my body so bad. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
don't have teeth. I look good on the outside. All of my
Mhm,
stuff is
Yeah.
internal. My bone mass is low, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
mhm,
And so I, because of the income that I get,
Yeah.
they put me in Medicare.
Okay.
uh-huh.
Yes. Now,
And I
mm,
pay close to $200 a month for Medicare.
yes,
And
yes,
Mhm.
because of my income, Medicaid won't help me.
See,
Medicaid,
see,
uh,
So
well, let
that's
me,
the kind of BS. Hold on, Zen. Let me finish.
mm,
So that's the kind of stuff
yeah,
when we say we fall through the cracks. Now,
yep,
because of my income, I only get $23 a month in food stamps. What is
yeah,
that going to
huh?
help me? So,
exactly.
in addition to getting a check,
mm-hmm,
because y'all done set whatever kind of guidelines that you have set,
mm-hmm,
now
Mhm.
I'm paying money for my medicines,
yep,
money for groceries, and you've taken my money for 30 years, close to 40 years, all
yeah,
the interest you got.
See,
So I'm scrambling.
yeah,
Yes, I go to food pantries.
yeah,
see,
Yes,
yep, yep,
but I should be able right now to at least be living a decent life. I should not
exactly.
have to
yeah,
get up every morning
mm-hmm,
and get on that phone
yep,
and look for stuff because see now I gotta take a Xanax because I'm on
it's
the phone.
a lot.
Y'all
Yeah,
gonna put me on hold and I got to explain my story to
yeah,
5 different people. That's
Show do.
challenging right there.
There you
And
mm-hmm,
half
go.
of the people they have working for these companies, half of them can't help you.
See,
Mhm.
see,
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the called the poverty tax. You
yeah,
pay a poverty tax,
that's
and
correct.
people will say, "Oh, you get food stamps. Oh, you probably gonna buy lobster or something. Get out of here with that mess." We pay a tax for being poor.
That is
We
true.
pay for everything we do. You're gonna either pay for it in your time or you're gonna pay for it in your money.
That's
And
right.
that's how a system is ran. It's ran so that
Mhm.
you can barely do anything and you will stay on the system. But on the outside, they'll say, we don't know why these people are staying on the system because they're
Yeah.
lazy.
Right,
Who's
right,
lazy and they've worked their entire life? People
exactly.
are not lazy. I hate that word.
Me
People
too.
are not lazy. Do
Preach.
you think these people in these big corporations are actually doing work? No.
No,
They
they
have
getting
been
a
given
check.
this life. You know what I'm saying? They've been given a silver spoon.
That's
We
right.
get up every day. We've seen our parents get up every day. We see our children who got to go get up every day.
Yep.
Why is that fair? You are not lazy. Stop saying that stuff. You
Okay.
work harder with your mind, so you do not have to work it with your body. You got one body, one mind. You want to keep that body functioning as long as you can.
Yeah.
So why should I have to work till I'm 65 and just to do what? Go die now? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
preach.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
cannot stand this system. This system has to be redone.
It's
Yeah.
true.
You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you. I
This
hear
is
you.
why a lot of kids stop going to school. This is why the school system is so messed up. They give you all these classes. I'm a teacher, y'all. I can tell you this. They give
Mm.
you all these classes that you do not need. When you get in high school, you should be worrying about, you should be having classes like finance and how to do things to build your own business. But instead, they're telling you, wow, now let's learn about B2 plus C3. Why are we learning that? I have not used any systems like that since I've been out in the world.
Girl, you better preach. I ain't
You know
never
what I'm
used
saying?
algebra.
Stop with this baloney. This is what irritates me. I be trying to
Yes.
be so nice and calm, y'all. But you
Mm-mm.
know what? The system is designed to fail you. And so
Yes.
you're fighting a system that will fail you as much as it can.
That's right.
Oh,
Everybody
you
got to get
preaching.
aware. You better become aware because if you don't, if it's a two-parent household right now, I'm telling you, they're probably in line for a food pantry. I know people in line for a food pantry that they work. I know people that work every day
Yes.
and they live on the train because they cannot get an apartment to live in.
That's
This
correct.
is bull when people keep telling you people are so lazy, they don't want to do this.
Yeah.
This is bull. That's a bull mindset. Get
It
that out of
is.
your head.
That's right.
You are being gaped. If you know what that means, you are being made a fool out of.
Mm.
And they keep saying, let's vote for Biden or let's vote for the other guy. They all already have the system rigged where whoever wins is not for you.
They're not.
Right.
It's
I
So
don't
you
know
scary.
got
who's
to go
studying
ahead.
this.
I'm not happy with either choice. It's scary, and we got to advocate
Yep.
for ourselves and do for ourselves.
That's right.
Yep.
And in
That's
school, I
right.
think that they should be showing some students about, you know, college
Yes,
isn't for
Swoop.
everybody.
Exactly.
Let's look at some of these technical schools and see what you like.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they took out the
Hmm.
tech schools out there during the 80s and 90s because they wanted to put their stuff in their place.
Hmm.
But let me go here with this. I'm on SSI, Social Security Disability.
Me
Uh,
too.
I am on that. I got a lawyer. I had a lawyer that was very very good. She said basically
Yes, we do.
you need to show them you are disabled. And I
Yeah.
was disabled. I have asthma. I had COPD because my parents were smoking. I got the secondhand smoke. My eyelids are droopy because my mom back in the day used to smoke when she was pregnant with me. So that's part of disability. My
Mhm.
disability, what I get now, is like $915 a month. I
Oh
got
wow.
I got that. That's a good. And then I also got food stamps, which is $160 a month.
That pays for nothing.
Exactly.
That pays for
See?
that
See?
pays for me.
Right.
That pays for me. That's
You must didn't work long to just get $900.
I got Social Security disability because I was
I know I'm on
I,
disability and I get
I,
way more than that. They
Mhm.
go
yeah,
by
but
how long you worked and how much you made.
Yeah, it's
I
based
was
on that.
working when I was
Yeah.
15 years old.
Mm.
I was working when I was 15 years old. I had multiple jobs. I used to work at a restaurant, used to work at fast food, used to
Oh,
work
okay.
at a
Oh, okay.
used
That
to work
explains
at
Yeah.
it.
a
Yep.
club, used to work
Right.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Because
that's what
I was in management and stuff and I get like two times what you're talking about.
yeah,
So
but in the
Hmm.
state
yeah.
where I live in the state of Texas, it's cheaper to live in the state of Texas than it is up in Chicago.
I
Sure.
didn't get disability
Surely
because
is.
I was taking care of my son
Yeah.
in the last
See?
2 years.
What?
I
Wow.
physically passed, but I didn't
Mhm.
pass because I didn't make enough money in the last few years because I was taking care of my special needs son.
Mhm.
And so I got
Wow.
diagnosed. So I got nothing.
Did you get a lawyer?
No.
You
I
need to
got
Yeah.
get a
you
free
You
need to
need
get
lawyer.
to
a
get a
lawyer.
You
lawyer.
need to get a
I
free
had to
lawyer.
get a
You,
lawyer.
you, you had to
Yep.
get a lawyer,
Get a
and
lawyer
you
and
have
you'll
to
get
have
it.
get a
My
lawyer and get
yeah.
Hey,
you have to have a
Zen,
doctor, right?
Zen, you're cutting other people off.
I'm sorry.
Carol was talking.
No, I was just gonna say my sister actually was a social worker in Chicago, and so what she did was she also helped a lot of family members get their disability because
Mm.
what's gonna happen is the first time you put in, they're gonna deny you. After
Yeah,
they
Absolutely.
deny
it's just
you,
automatic.
yep,
Yep.
automatically. After they
Yep.
deny you, you're gonna have to get a lawyer, and it's gonna take about 6 months to a year, but you'll get that, and you'll get your back pay too. And
Yep.
so it's a certain way that you have to fill out the application, and everything. That's why I'm telling you to get a lawyer, and
Yep.
then you will get your disability.
Mhm.
Okay, y'all can go ahead.
Yep.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you will.
Oh,
Thank
Dana. Also, one other thing I wanted to just echo that you said earlier. Um, so anyway, there's a food pantry about um 10 houses away from where I live right now, and I just drove by it coming home, and the line is full,
See?
and they're not going to open up until I think 1:30.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and it was about 12 when I went by there, and it's
That's
packed,
sad.
That's
Mhm.
packed
right.
full, and they're regular people. You know what I mean? They're people.
Sure
I'm sure
is.
they're working. You
Yep.
know, and then
And
the
they
other
Honey, I
stand
thing
go to
is,
out.
the food pantries. I ain't ashamed.
That
I
food will
go
be
I
to
think you
gone in
should.
45
I have
minutes.
done it before too. I have done it before,
Yeah,
honey.
absolutely.
I'm going to the food pantries now. Some of the times it be a whole lot of stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
can't use, but
Yep.
I bring it back to my building
Mm-hmm.
and I put it out, and you best believe it's gone.
It's
Yep.
gone. That's
Yep.
right.
It's gone.
But the other
See?
thing,
And then,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
so I'm not embarrassed. You know, y'all better get up
No.
out of that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like I say, if we gonna fight this system, we got to stop fighting each other.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
y'all got to let some of these egos and stop worrying about.
Yeah.
Some folks don't even want to be seen in the food pantry line. Some people think that's so disgusting. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But see, I know some people that are
Hey,
abusing the
Sipping
system.
Sore.
Yep.
They're
See.
pulling up in their Mercedes and
Uh.
expensive SUVs and stuff like that. Brand new, newer cars than mine. You know,
Wow.
I see it. I mean, they're really doing it. But the other thing I was going to say is, back. I just want to mention about the farmers markets because I sort of live in the area where there's farmers,
Okay.
and the one thing you can do is, and I don't just don't quote me 100%, but there's a guy that we buy meat from periodically. I'm going to have to ask him how many families it was,
Okay.
but they split a steer, like a whole cow, between, I think it's two families, and that gave them enough food to last a year.
Oh
See,
wow.
see,
Yeah, and
Wow.
and they got like every part of the cow that there is. I don't even know. Hamburger, sirloin, New York strip, blah blah blah, all the way down chuck roast, the whole thing. And
Okay.
it wasn't expensive. Like, I want to say it was probably, it may have been $1,000 if you split that by two or three people. It's a lot of money, but it's so much meat. You're never going to eat that in
See.
a month or two or three or four or five. Like, it's they say it lasts them a year,
Oh
and they're
wow.
stuffing themselves full of meat. Now I know, sorry about the vegans out there, but you it can be done. You know what I mean? And those farmers
Hmm.
markets, they're not 100%. Like, if you stay away from the bougie ones, I call them bougie, the ones in fancy places. But like regular farmers markets, if you go, that have butchers and things like that work there, they
Hmm.
will sell you a lot of this stuff. It's so much cheaper than the supermarket.
oh yeah,
It
Yeah.
really is. You can get your eggs there, your chicken, pork, whatever it is. But like, if you can sort of, pool some of your resources, it really does help. And that's what this Mennonite guy told me.
Okay.
It was a
Hey,
couple of families
Thomas
that they
and
did.
Sherman. I've never seen you guys before, and I've had people that have that's been doing some crazy things. Um,
Yeah.
and so I've never seen you. So I'm sorry. That's why I'm not bringing you up because I don't know you. And
Good idea.
let me.
people been dropping porn and stuff.
Yep,
Yes.
I had a
Yep.
wanker on my channel a few weeks ago. Just
So and
in
then
my
they've been
chat.
jacking off. So that's the only reason.
No, thank you.
Oh
So
wow.
Yeah,
I won't be letting y'all come up. So I'm sorry, sorry,
Mhm.
not sorry.
yeah, no
So
wankers, no wankers.
yeah,
No, thank you. Yeah. So anyway, so
and I
think about
really
that, you
thank y'all.
guys.
You're right, Miss Brooks. It's always a presence. I
Yeah.
know. I'm gonna forget about the crazies. I've already forgotten them.
Yeah.
I'm on my
Mhm.
positive stuff. This is the things that I like to do, and these are things that I like. That I like. Um, about YouTube. These types of conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So you know what? I guess maybe um it'll be nice. Also, if you need medicines, you can call the pharmaceutical companies and see
Yeah.
if they got something to help you with.
Yeah.
And then I guess you need to get in touch with some people and see if they wanted to go what? What do? You go buy the cow?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You go to the farmer, the beef farmer, and usually, like, a lot of times they'll sell it. They'll have a little store, on their land or whatever, or you order. You if you look in the phone, even in the phone book, you look in the phone book. They have you call them, and they'll tell you what they have available. And the farmers markets, they usually try to bring like a variety of stuff. You know what I mean? So you'll find like the basic stuff. But if you buy this steer, you cut this thing in half, it will feed a family, couple of families for a year.
Mm.
Yeah, I
yeah.
heard
And if
about
you think about what you can buy at the grocery store, Lord have mercy, it's so high.
It's so expensive. And the
Yep.
thing that's really interesting was, like, the last thing that I remember seeing, they had a 30 pound bag of potatoes was $10. Now
Wow.
you could split that with 4 or 5 people. That's a lot of potatoes because they'll go
Girl,
bad.
Yeah.
I'm taking a couple of my potatoes I bought at the grocery store and I'm sticking them in the ground because
Stick
they
them in
mold
the
right
ground. That's right. You
fast.
can do that.
Yeah. See.
And
But a 30-pound bag is big. Like
yeah,
I'm only 2 people, so that's way too much for us. But really, if you were smart, you would split it between family members, and that would be enough. It's cheaper than the supermarket.
did you know you
Yeah.
could take when you cut your tomato, the part that you cut, that's the top of tomato, you
Hmm.
could just put that in a dirt and it'll regrow tomatoes.
That is cool. Again, grow your own. So you're
Same
speaking
with
to
carrots,
carrots,
celery.
celery. Yep, that's
Oh
right. So
yeah.
anyway, you're speaking to part of what my channel, what I do on there, because I talk about
Hmm.
food,
Yep.
and I always say grow your own, buy local,
What's your
things like that.
channel?
It's I bring it
Oh,
every
hold
day.
on. Let me drop her link.
Yeah.
I
So,
need to.
but I cook on Fridays. I'm not trying to be shameless plug, but I cook on Fridays, like how to speak, like try to, eating fresh it can be a little pricey, but you buy what's on sale. Like there's always a special. You know what I mean? Beets. One week it might be beets, another week it might be potatoes,
Yeah.
it might be onions this week. Whatever it is. And these local farmers are all growing their stuff, and they want to sell it. They don't want to keep it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then yeah, you can. I was saying, and if you can grow your own, that's my last little tagline.
So
You
I'm
know.
saying grow stuff and let's hit up our local farmers and
Yep.
help them out
Yes.
and protest our grocery stores and let's send a
Yeah.
message.
Yeah. Forget
Every
those big box stores. Forget them.
Yep.
So everything she was just saying, I think I was remember Miss April. I think I did a live on it. Some guy was speaking on it. He was bringing awareness before all this thing happened with the submarine and all that.
Yes.
And I was showing how that he passed. He was talking about like the whole point of the submarine and I mean and all that crap. I learned about the reason and the meaning after behind it.
Oh.
Missing submarine, the Titanic, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
There's a lot. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
but what's crazy is that a lot of people didn't notice that all that this time it came back around. And what they did was right underneath our noses while we was focused on the submarine, they passed that little law where all our meats is fake. Like if you don't pay
And
attention
that's
in these
crazy.
markets, that's why I was like, I started buying. Somebody told me they bought this. Listen, I got tricked into eating deer. I was so mad I ate. Yo, listen, I ate Bambi's mom. I cried
Yes,
when they
you
told
did.
me that. Yo,
It's
I was
okay.
like, wait, you told me this was beef. I'm over here thinking I'm eating beef stew. And I'm like, yo, but it's got this aftertaste to it. I'm like, you're
Oh
lying to
wow.
me. You did something to it. They like, no, Ray, it tastes like beef because it's deer. I was like, you telling me I just ate Bambi's mom? Yo,
Wow.
I cried literally. But in reality, they started buying the farmers meat because they also was learning about that stuff and they're buying everything natural. So I'm over here trying it and I'm like, yo, how do I keep the budget? Because everything's expensive. Like it costs more on some root like but you have to go to the proper farmers market, like she said. And you like it's not easy to keep a proper diet, like the veggies and all that stuff and stay
Yeah.
away
Yep.
from that, but
Yeah,
it's
it
worth
takes a
it.
little bit of work, but it can be done. And like I
It's worth it.
said, if you go to those, when I call them real farmers markets, where the actual
Yes.
person who grew the stuff is there, a lot of times they'll make a deal with you if you want whatever. You know what I mean? Like they'll go, hey, here, just take it. Okay, 3 for $1. Like I've had people do that to me. Like,
Here
and
in
they'll say,
Philly,
yeah,
we got this guy that goes around and we got a couple guys that go around in a van. They got their own farms
yeah,
and
that's
they
cool.
the only ones that I don't mess around with is the ones that ask for your like, oh, we accept food stamps. I'm like, nah, that's not possible.
Yes, I
So
gotcha.
nah, straight cash. We sitting here, we making a deal. But you sit here asking for food stamp cards and this, you accept that. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, though, also, I mean, a lot of them are trying to get fancy. So, I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah,
totally disregard them, but I just feel like there's
um,
like I call it boutique farmers markets
I
where
wouldn't
it's like,
recommend it because of the scams that's going on with the welfare right now.
yeah,
And
and
I
that's
know a
true.
lot
People
about
are,
that.
yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like it's just deep. I know a lot because I read a lot and I attend these, community meetings. Things go very deep. So it's like I try to find ways to speak on it. Like I was trying to say earlier, like y'all speaking on all this, and it's crazy, right? We was all speaking about fighting the legislators earlier, because believe it or not, y'all gonna start seeing a lot of these homeless get arrested because they passed this new law. Like I was saying, I wrote in the chat earlier, the homeless can't be homeless no more. If they're not in a shelter or in a house, they're getting arrested, and they already starting to do it in lot of places. Here in Philadelphia, it's heavy.
And see,
Ooh,
that's so bad
Oh
because
wow.
how you most homeless people that don't go into a place to be, in a facility is because they can't mentally do it. And they know that too. Some people can't handle that. And so why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna go and lock me in a jail, why can't you put me away somewhere? Put me up somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, but they putting you in shelters. It's just a lot of people is refusing
Oh,
the
the
shelter.
shelters. No.
They're
This
refusing it.
Yeah,
But
the,
I
the
feel as though
shelters
with
are
all this
bad.
money that they're giving away, why not just try to
Right.
get them? Like, I'm
There you
saying there's a
go.
lot of people that are homeless not
Yeah.
because they want to be homeless, because they can't
Exactly.
find a job, or because they just recovered from an addiction and they don't know how to get on their feet. Like, let's find them the proper support. Instead of building safe houses like y'all want to sit and do, let's build more apartments or something and get them some jobs. That's why I was listening to y'all talking about, starting to own communities and stuff like that. I was like, we've been talking
Mhm.
about that for the longest. Like, listen,
Yeah.
man, if this stuff doesn't work out, why can't we just buy some land, start our own communities, build our own houses, teach our own kids and stuff like that, hire our own teachers,
Mhm.
teach them
Mm.
coding and trading and do all this. I mean, we've been talking about this for the longest. Miss April knows, like, since I found out about Miss April, I've been following her, and I didn't even know she was listening to me. So it's kind of like, and I was like, dang, I got somebody as elder listening to me like that. I was like, oh, okay, respects her way.
Yeah, because and then like in the schools they'll go, how you have to fill out, how to have kids with disabilities. Do you know if your kid got a disability, you're still gonna have to, even if you got a what is that form? I can't remember what the form is. What is it? I can't remember.
IEP.
IEP, yeah.
IEP.
If your kid even has an IEP, my kid had an IEP, but they still did not want to do anything for him. Just because I was a teacher and I knew the rules. And so I fought for him. I fought for so many kids. But if you don't know that, the typical parent doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And they hope the typical parent doesn't know it and won't do anything about it. So
That's why we
I
need to
mean,
learn our
I am
rights.
just so outdone with it. And then a lot of these children, I'm from Chicago. A lot of these children have PTSD. Don't tell me they have PTSD, seeing all these shootings, seeing whatever's growing up without food and all this stuff, but they're not gonna do anything about that. But when you come from like the military, if you have PTSD, that's got to be taken care of, right? So why
Yeah.
are you bringing children up who have PTSD? They don't have things. I used to have to feed children when they came to school. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me, because I'm sorry. How can a child learn anything if their stomach is empty? If they're going through, like I said, PTSD, if they're going through the things they're going through at home, and like you always saying about the bullying, all that starts from home. A
Yeah.
bully will become the next bully. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps going, just like a molest. Oh, I don't want to say a word. Just like, I'm trying to cut this really. Yeah, but just like people grow up with other things, if they see abuse and things, then they grow up being an abuser, most of them. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a
They
fact.
can take care of them at school, but they choose not to. That's why I'm telling you, parents have so much power. If you can
Yeah.
get parents together, parents can overtake the system. They can.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything goes hand in hand, and people don't
Exactly.
realize that. I'm like, you
Exactly.
just
Yep.
can't focus on one subject. Like, you
Yep.
gotta sit here and focus on everything. Like she said earlier, like I speak a lot about that on my channel, on how
Okay.
the problems that our kids are going through in their houses, whether it's they've been abused physically, mentally, through
Hmm.
growth, molestation, and stuff like that. Yeah, they go back out and they lash out to the world one way or
Exactly.
another. That's why I spoke on my story. And I
Okay.
explained, how I overcame my situation. And it takes a lot of therapy to overcome situations like this. And people don't realize that. And, they hear therapy. I'm not crazy. It's not just for that. Sometimes you just don't feel comfortable
Exactly.
talking to
Come
somebody
on.
around you. Maybe
Yep.
you can find in the therapist, you can find a therapist you could click with and, let it all out. And they could probably give you the right advice. It depends. And I'm not saying, go straight to therapy if you don't want to, but that's one of my best options because it worked for me and so many others around me, especially when
Mhm.
it comes to being molested or being raped. So
Therapy
like
isn't
it's
isn't about crazy. I have
Exactly.
I have mad respect for people that go to therapy because they realize that that's the place to heal.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's not about crazy, it's about self-regulation and healing and, you know, getting your stuff out of your system because if you hold everything in, it leads to disease and other things.
Yep.
Mhm.
But anyway, I wanted to say bye to y'all. I got to go because I got a client here
I
shortly.
do too. I do too.
Yes.
I love you,
Okay.
Miss April.
Yep. Thank you so much, Miss April. Thank you, panel.
Hmm.
Thank you, guys. I'll see
Yep.
you
Thank
later.
y'all.
Bye bye. Bye,
Take
Brady.
care.
See you later.
Nice
All right.
talking to y'all.
Okay.
Big blessings and love to everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yep.
You too.
Same to
Bye
you.
bye.
Did Miss April drop?
She did. Oh,
But yeah, like you were speaking a lot of I love everything you just said because I love gardening and my daughter is right into it. Like
good.
and we learned how to grow so many things and 4 years ago I didn't know what I was growing. I swear
Yes.
to God.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? And we all have um if you just need a little bit of land, some pots, you just need a little bit of space. I mean, you can do the raised beds or the pots and things like that. And that's what my husband and I are doing right now. We're just trying to at this point, we're just trying to do like the spices. So lettuce, a little bit of lettuce, garlic, ginger, things like that. That's what we're doing. And oregano and basil just to start out with until we get a little more comfortable because we have kind of bad soil. So yeah,
I know
but
I
I'm
learned
hoping
about
that
the
it
bad.
that it works out. Yeah, hoping that it works out, but we'll see.
Yes, yes. You see, I became a part of my community. I became a block captain and
Did you?
everything to help out in the community and stuff like that. Even though it's not something easy, because trust me, like I try to put resources out here, but I
Yeah.
have to now that I've learned that I just can't put anything out there because it'll get stolen. I learned the
Yes.
difference between homeless and drug addicts and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I be speaking on it a lot now,
Yeah.
especially to people. There's people, oh, this person's homeless. Like, no, you got to learn the difference between a real homeless that's out there and wants to get on their feet and somebody that's out
Mm-hmm.
there that doesn't want to change because you got them homeless people out there that don't care, but then you got those out there that are really trying to get on their feet, and those are the
That's
ones that
right.
get ignored. And I
Yeah.
keep telling everybody, if you pay close attention, you start learning until you can tell the difference between an addict, somebody that doesn't care, that just wants to be lazy, and somebody that's just out there because they didn't have the resources or they went through something, but they really need to get back on their feet. They just don't know how to or can't. I mean, I don't know how to really put it into words to let people
Yeah.
understand. Like, there's so many things out here that we're just being so negative about. And
Yeah.
let's put it like this: we put negativity on a pedestal, right?
It's
And
true. It's true.
we don't put we put the positivity at the bottom.
That's
Like
right.
we live in a world that is all about give and take.
Or more take. More take than give.
Yeah, we're more giving is scarce and taking is like a thrive.
Hmm. Oh, but the one thing I wanted to mention, if you don't mind, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
I know you
so the
good. Go ahead.
reason that there are a lot of homeless and right now and people that are having mental health issues is that they had these large institutions, that took care of the people who were mentally, challenged and stuff, or like you're going through, real intense mental health issues where they needed to be, watched constantly, and they closed a lot of those
Yeah.
hospitals and things in the 80s. And so a lot of those people got kind of pushed out on the street. So that's the first thing that happened. So, and a lot of them were veterans and things like that. But and then what I call regular people. And then the other thing that happened is, when the economy, hit rock bottom, I guess, due to the pandemic, that really put a lot of people even, worse, like a lot more homeless people. Because there's always been homeless, but it definitely, the 80s, definitely the people with mental health issues got out. They released them out into the public, and most of them just ended up on the street.
But now the more of the homeless I see that is more drugs. I've noticed it because before I used to walk, right? And I used to get in trouble for giving my food to the homeless, but they took it.
Yeah,
And my mom used to tell me, yo, stop doing that because of that. I'm like, but wait, they're really hungry. They're not
yeah,
asking me for money, mom. And I didn't care. I'll give them my food. Like I would stay
yeah.
starving. She would say
Hmm.
it yo, if you do it, I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not giving you nothing. Don't ask.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, oh well, whatever. I stood there. I didn't care. I was always that. I don't know what it is about me. I was always that
No,
giving,
that's
and I
cool.
didn't. I knew that there's evil out here, but I go by vibes. I go by
Yeah.
what my gut's telling me. Always went by that, and it's kept me safe.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a long time, and like, there was a long
Hey.
time that I was flashing against the world.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people know the story, but I would overcome that situation, and now I see things so different. And
Yes.
I've noticed that even though the adults ain't listening, these kids are listening, and people are saying, "Ray, you crazy? Da, 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 da. These kids ain't gonna change. These kids." I'm like, yes, they are. They still got a chance. We don't got a chance. We've already grown into our own ways. There's no changing us.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing fine.
If you listen to these kids and you hear their stories, like it's all in my poems. I got a whole poem book coming
I
out, and
like
it's
your hair.
called
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the
those
way
were
Shorty.
nice. Your poems were great. I like them.
So it's kind of like on one of them, I speak like if I was actually one of the kids, and I'm speaking like if it was like, can y'all hear us? Like we have a voice too, and I keep
Yeah.
telling everybody that these kids don't have a voice until they hit a certain age. It's not that I'm defending all kids; it's that we have to treat these kids accordingly. Some of these kids need different types of help. Some of them have been abused. Some of them haven't. Some of them are just copying. They're mimicking. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
so many ways we gotta go about it. If we listen, we'll know exactly what they need because we was them at one point.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna make a difference"? Yeah, you grew up and say, "Fuck the world." Well, I'm saying I feel like I want to say "fuck the world," but I'm trying to help still because it's adults that are hard headed. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like I've noticed that a lot of these kids do listen. They get into a crowd. They go to the wrong path for 1 second. Then they
Mm-hmm.
hit that wall and they be like, "I'm sorry, I should have listened." We gotta give them enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah.
Some of us don't do that. Some of us don't even give them the benefit of the doubt. So what do these
Mm-hmm.
kids think? These kids think that they're worthless. They ain't shit. They
Yep.
can't do nothing. That's what is in their head. They don't care. They got that I don't care attitude now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting hard. You know, the world's hard and they are hardening. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, swoop. Yeah, I see that. Oh yeah, you oh okay. Okay. They closed down the whole department. Yeah, see, that's another thing. So they closed down. So because we're in the same state. I noticed. But a few years back they closed all the state hospitals in Pennsylvania. Not all, but
Yeah.
there really aren't that many. I mean, there were tons of them and I don't know how many are left, but those and some of those were like 2,000 people, 3,000 people,
You
and
saw
to zero, and I'm like, where do 3,000 people go?
did you see what they said that Biden did and all? He signed the paper, that now that new HIPAA law where the kids got more rights than the parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, but
Um, I was reading deeper into that and I was looking into it and I'm sitting here,
mhm,
I'm like, all this is really to make a profit because I looked into it and the organization, right, that's dealing with all this is part of a stock.
mm,
Hey,
I
lady.
mean, all of them
I'm doing
rabbit.
fine.
I'm just saying what I'm saying so people could, listen. You don't gotta go by what I'm saying. Go do your own
do
research
your
and
own
you will see.
research. Yep.
I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody because I know I can't convince nobody, but I know I read enough. Like, yo,
Hmm.
this is
Yeah.
and it's happening right underneath our noses. That
Yep.
HIPAA law screwed a lot of parents over, and they're doing it because look what happens. If they say that a child is not stable in this house, where do they go? Under foster.
Yeah.
If you go into the foster care, look into the people. What happens? I mean, you can go this is human trafficking. I'm like, yo, I want to just not go too further now because it's not my channel. But in my channel, I'll go all out.
Yeah.
This goes all goes hand in hand, and nobody's listening. Allie Carter came out and she's when I spoke the first time on that story, it took a real I had to get somebody to make me a disclaimer to fight this dispute because I
Mm,
didn't know how to fight this dispute. I'm like, I'm not talking about the healthcare system. I'm not talking about, the jab or none of that. How y'all sitting here? I'm talking about DHS, social workers. I'm talking about the foster system and what's
yeah.
happening with our kids. I had to fight this. I'm like, yo, y'all sitting here telling me I'm talking about medical issues. No, I'm not. I'm actually
Ugh,
speaking up. And this girl spoke on
mm,
who had trafficked her. And guess who's there?
crazy.
Them big peoples that y'all over here so much praising. The Clintons, the Bidens, all of them is in there. Obama's.
Mm,
And who exposed him? Y'all hate him so much. I'm not saying he's my president because I don't agree with everything he says, but Trump is under fire right now for exposing all of that. He's not my president.
Yeah.
I don't,
But I
I
think
don't
he's
fucks
done
with
some other
All of
things
them
too, though.
exposing each other. You know, they all
him.
crooks. You
Exactly.
know,
That's why I'm
that's
like,
what
Listen,
people. They're all crooked,
listen,
crooks. Ain't
don't
none
watch
of them
me
no
now.
better than the next.
yeah.
No. Listen, I don't have a president until there's a president that's for us the people, and I don't see that coming anytime soon. But I'm
No.
gonna tell you this, right? Everybody knew what they was doing when they put Trump in office. He's a businessman. That's what he does. He handles business. He's not meant for politics, but he has a good point in view in politics. But once he's in the office, what is he? Another puppet to the. So I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah.
They're all the same. Democrats and Republicans are all the same. Go look into it. Why all
Hmm.
this
They
started?
really are, because they
Listen,
not for
when
the middle class
They are
or the
not.
poor.
They are
I
not.
want to tell something. My
They're
baby
not
pops
for the
taught me
middle class or the poor. So
this. Listen,
it doesn't
my baby,
matter whether they're Democrat or Republican.
my baby
Yep.
pops taught me this. Right? There's this guy called Papa Duck on YouTube that he talks about it a lot. And when he
Okay.
said it, I was like, "Yo, you wasn't wrong." And he was explaining about the Democrats and the Republicans, right? And when he's like, "Y'all talk about racist so much and racism and all that," do y'all know that the word racist has to do with the politics and all? It has nothing to do with the color of our skin. And when you go look it up, I'm like, "Oh snap!" So the whole time we've been saying I'm racist, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, "That got shit to do with the system." And we're talking about color of our skin. The two don't go together. I'm
Check
like,
this
"Oh,
out. Check this out, y'all. My niece Just B has just given everybody a reminder. Trump has 91 felony charges. He's adjudicated fraudster and sexual abuser, allegedly. I don't, well, I know women did file lawsuits on him.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yes.
anyway,
Mhm.
even
I don't, I really don't care anymore. Like I said, um, what I've always done my entire life, and I got this from my auntie Doris Carter, who started working when it was Operation Breadbasket here, which later turned into Operation Push. I've been helping out in the community. I've helped campaigns,
Yep.
um,
It's cool.
injustices. We did protests. If you go through some of my videos or go to the Darlene April, I think I've got a lot of the protests even here uh, in Joliet where we've done protests and stuff. So this wasn't something that I just started doing. I guess this is something that was taught to us, and that was to be active in your community and to help out. And don't never get too big, and don't never forget where you come from.
Yep. For sure.
And Ryder, yes, I've been following her. You know, she's a youngster, and that was one of the reasons. I did want to learn how are the young people thinking these days. Like,
Yeah.
what's really going on? Because
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, I was looking at all of these young kids like they just off the chain now. You know, none of them are respectful. They want to argue. They have no respect. They don't want to listen to you. They
Yep.
got the answers. And some of the youngsters have showed me on different panels what they think about me, and that's fine. It's cool. I hope you had fun trying to insult me. It's okay though. But I'm all right. And all of y'all that call me an old lady, you better hope you live to be 61.
Exactly.
I'll be 62 in August. Baby, it's a privilege to live nowadays.
That's right.
facts. That's a fact. Shit,
It
It's
is.
a
you wanna listen?
privilege.
It's like, yo, listen, old heads got the most wisdom that you don't even know. Listen, you don't gotta do what they say. You just gotta take the advice they give you. It's up to you what you do with it.
That's right.
Like it
Yeah.
took me a minute to realize that. And people are like, oh no, listen, man, I'm not a puppet. I'm not a yes woman. I'm not none of that. I used to lash out to the world so much. I used to hate so many people because I didn't understand myself. I didn't love myself enough. And it took for me to have my firstborn to see the whole world differently. It
Yeah.
took for me to lose the father of my kids and end up with the father of my daughter to see that not all men are the same. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Lose
ain't
the
it
father.
something?
Yeah.
I can't wake up every morning and say, "Yo, good morning, how you doing?" My kids can't say, "Dad, can I have this?" No, because he's buried.
Mm.
And like, so at the end of the day, like I tell people, you never know what you have until you lose it. And
Right.
I lost three people in a matter of 6 years. First, it was the
Mm.
father of my kids, then it was my mom, then it was my brother. I'm saying, I'm like, what the fuck? You never know what you got until you lose it. See, my
Yeah.
mom doesn't deserve as much respect as the father of my kids and my brother does, but she was my mother. She gave me a home. She tried to be a mom, and
Hmm.
the men understand that.
They
But
did
at
the
the end,
best they could do. And that's what I try to tell people. Stand that most parents did the best that they could do.
Oh,
You're
true.
gonna always
Yeah.
be mad. Hold on, I'm getting in the car with my nephew.
no, I'm not mad at my mom. I'm just everything that I'm everything. I'm not everything she is, and that's how I wanted it to be. Because, like I
Mm.
tell people, listen, I'm a survivor, and now that I'm older, I understand why my mom let a lot of stuff happen the way it happened because she needed help herself mentally,
Mm.
and she didn't get it, and she went through a lot, and I didn't understand it because she put her world on my shoulders at an early age, and she was a woman before a mother, and by the time she was a mother, it was I was already grown with kids. By the time she said it, I'm sorry to me, and gave me an apology, she was
Hmm.
in her deathbed. So
Yeah.
like I tell people, it's like, yo, I mean, I loved my mom because all I wanted was her love and affection, but it took her
Mm.
forever to learn how to love us because she didn't love herself.
Right. Yep. Yeah. When you know better, you do better. Right.
Exactly. Like I tell everybody, I want to be everything that she is not. I want to be the complete opposite of my mom. Like I'm glad she taught me. I'm a chef because of her. Like my mom was a chef herself.
Okay,
Like she can cook Italian,
count them
Mexican,
right now.
but at the end of the day, like what she put us through was hell. And I
Yeah.
had to learn how to overcome them scars. And for a while, I blamed the world because I had trust issues with men and because with women because of what I went through with her.
All right.
Hmm.
Like
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Where my damn lunch at? Oh, oh, sorry,
Monday.
y'all.
Monday.
we need to understand these kids though. Like I can
Yeah.
All
also
right,
put my
y'all. Sorry for that, y'all.
Mm.
Did y'all hear me cursing?
We might have.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not allowed to curse. I gotta pay a fee every time I curse, especially on the live. My daughter is
Right.
bankrupt, but I'm showing her like, listen, man, I gotta get over the little habit because it's a habit, taught on to me. I thought it was the right thing growing up because I heard everybody else saying it, and now it's kind of hard. Now
Why do keep
I
that?
have to
Do you need that box?
the front door or shut the fridge up or and I end up still
I
saying the
put it
F
in
word.
there, didn't
They put it in the box. They put it in the actual box.
Like I
It's kind
said,
of
you
hard.
just do the best you can. As long as you're looking up and trying to do better every day, that's all good.
Yeah. And that's what I try to show these kids. And that's what I mean, I got a lot of kids that listen to me that are like a lot of these kids in the community are waiting for me to get the funds or find a way to get the funds to bring a community center right here in the hood because we
Hmm.
don't have it. They took all those types of resources. We got community centers. They have to go out like towards South Philly, Southwest, and all that. It's like this is for these kids. A lot of these kids got the resources. A lot of them are on bikes and on foot. Their parents are on SSI or welfare.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yo, we in the hood. Like we gotta try it.
Hey,
Like
Lisa, where you going?
I understand they reckless and all that, but we gotta give it a try.
Mm.
They're gonna be reckless regardless because of what they see. I keep telling everybody these kids are mimicking.
Yep.
Yeah. Just be careful talking in unvalidated information. The Russian disinformation campaign is in full effect.
What's a Russian campaign information?
I'm not
We can talk about no Russians. I'm lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's how it is. It's tricky on YouTube. There's certain things you can't say and whatever. But but like I said, my I always, I mean, I do talk about stuff like that, medical, only because I always try to leave the links where I get the stuff, and it's usually highfalutin medical sources. So I'm not making the stuff up. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean,
You have
like
to be able to prove to them. That's why I said like it's hard to put these disclaimers, but if you
yeah,
got
but you have
you're
to.
able to
Yeah.
yep.
Yep. Yep.
You have to put a disclaimer regardless of anything because sometimes you
Yep.
say some stuff you don't want to. Either take the part out or delete the whole video. Those are the only
Exactly.
two options.
Yep. But anyway, well, it was nice meeting you, Ryder.
Yeah, it was nice to have everybody on the show.
Yes.
I was so angry and upset, and I'm glad the show went on. I was in Renrock show this morning. I'm right there. Somebody changed their name to mine. They was
Oh wow.
deleting people, timing them out, and I'm
Mm.
like, get a life. You know what?
Yes.
This is what I'm on YouTube for. The things that we're doing right now is the things I came on YouTube for, and that was to share information
Yes.
and you know do that and see what I can do. Ryder, can you drop that petition again because I couldn't find it, but there's so many petitions.
Right.
Yeah, I dropped it
Yeah.
twice. Hold on, I'll do
Drop it again, and we need everybody to sign that petition. I
it.
need
You know what
people
it
to
is?
know
That
whether you're young, old,
you're gonna have to
no
get a
matter
mod
your race. Yeah, I'm gonna have
poster.
to get me a mod, and
You got a
it
mod.
doesn't
Somebody
matter the color anymore. These are
yeah,
kids.
you're gonna
These
have
are
to get a mod
kids.
to post it
Yeah,
again.
I'm
It's
gonna
right
have to give me some mods. I'm gonna have to. Oh, hold on. Here's Just V. Hey, Just V.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
hey,
gonna have to
Tam.
get
Hey,
a
Miss
mod
April.
and yeah.
there. Go ahead.
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
Give me a
hey,
mod.
everybody, say hi to Just V. Me and Just V got 5 years of YouTube history.
We do. I'm not going nowhere. Okay, what I was saying about the Russian information, you made me laugh when you said we ain't talking about no Russians. I was
That
saying
other person, and I do it out of fun.
I
I'm gonna
was
be off on that.
saying that be careful, like absorbing
Just
information
V.
that there isn't like really proof of, because the same way in the 2016 election, the investigation showed that there was like an effort by the Russians, right, to saturate the American voting poll with lies and manipulations in
Gotcha.
order to get them
Okay.
to vote a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so with the upcoming election, you know how they were saying Biden crime family, and we have all
Yes.
these people that have said that the President Biden took in $5 million from a Ukrainian oil company. Da 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 da. The man
Mm-hmm.
who was supposed to be the witness to that, right, the smoking gun, was
They're fine. I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, lady. How you be? I'm good. Checking to make sure you okay.
he's in jail right now.
That's
So, huh?
okay.
And that's a way to saturate the voting pool again, to believe that the Bidens were doing things that they weren't doing. The Republicans were talking about this and had hyped this all up and said, oh, and everybody they brought in said, no, that's not true. And then they finally brought in then they finally found that the smoking gun guy was being told to relay information that was all lies that he was getting from the Russians, and say the feds arrested him. So that's what I meant.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten all about that. Yep.
No, you just had threw me off though. That's why I was lost. I'm like, wait, did we mention
Any
any
questions?
Russians?
Yeah. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Um, the yeah. I'm just Like I'm at a whole different phase in my life. As we were saying, we got, old boy was saying you gotta have a plan. I was like, I done went through 20 plans. I got a whole different plan now. And that is, I gotta look out for the children's rights now. So yeah. My cat, I gotta feed my cat.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all I came up here to say. Just know that the Russians are actively trying to interfere in American politics, and so they like to plant information to try,
Wow.
try to that's not necessarily true. Possibly to the Chinese too, but we don't have no proof. I don't think there's
Yeah.
any proof of the Chinese, but there is definite proof of the Russians, and so
Okay.
just know that they
Yeah.
have people, pretending, to be one of us, right, to spread these messages and
So
hoping they'll
did
come
you
back.
guys did y'all watch the State of the Union last night?
I listened. It was good.
How was that good? The first thing he opened with was talking about Ukraine. I was 38 hot.
He didn't open up talking about Ukraine. He talked about all sorts of
That was
things: the
the first
infrastructure
thing he
bill, the
talked
job.
about was Ukraine. Yes, he did.
Mm,
I don't
well,
know
it was a
what
very
show you
long
was
speech,
listening to.
and I don't recall seeing that first. But regardless, I mean, he talked about all sorts of things. He talked about jobs. He talked about healthcare. Talked about the growth of Obamacare. National security was also a part of it. I mean, they talked about a lot of stuff. It wasn't just about Ukraine. That was a long ass speech from Ms. April. I know you heard a
Very
lot more than
long.
just Ukraine. Come on now. And the thing about it is, you may not
I
understand it, Miss
said
April, but
he
it is very
opened up.
so. What you needed, what was really important about what he said about Ukraine is that they're just asking for funding. They're not asking for American soldiers. Like, Ukrainians fighting the Russians is a buffer to keep America out of war. And all of the first world countries contribute contribute. America hasn't given the most. I forgot who was just gave $7 billion. I think it was Sweden. Like, everybody understands that it's necessary for the Ukrainians to continue to hold off on the Russians. It is in everybody's, all the first world countries' best security interests. It's not about giving money away. Like, that money serves a real purpose for American security. So
No, that's cool. No, I just think, like me personally, I'm so war weary. I'm just going to call it that. I just feel like that's all we've been putting a lot of money into, all these wars, for like the last 25, 30 years of my life. It's
I mean,
crazy.
but I
Yeah.
mean, but
No.
in this case, Russia went and invaded their territories and tried to
Yeah, they
take
did.
over. So it's not like America. It's not
Right.
it's not like America entered into a war.
Right.
Um, and here's another thing I don't think a lot of people know. So even when America pledges the money, right, it still kind
Hmm.
of goes back into the American economy because they spend most of that money on war equipment that America is making. So
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
if
I
you
got you.
if you think about it, I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
here, we'll
Okay.
give you this money to buy this stuff from us.
Yeah.
So
I'm just, I'm a hippie, so
no,
all this
I
war,
mean,
all
listen,
this war talk hurts me.
I'm
Yeah.
not a war happy person. I'm not a war
Yeah.
happy person. But
Yeah.
the one thing that Americans have not experienced since the Civil War is a war on American soil.
That's
And if
true.
you start letting the bullies of the world invade other countries, and America sits back and doesn't do anything, particularly with their allies, what do you think is going
Hmm.
to happen to America? They're going to try America too.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to realize, if Russia can take over Ukraine, then next they're going to
Okay.
go.
They're
What
gonna
is it?
keep
Is it
going.
is it
Yeah.
Poland that they want? And they're going to eventually enter into countries that are NATO countries, and America will have to go into active combat.
Hmm.
So it's like it's basically trying to keep the school bully off everybody's ass. That's
Hmm.
all it is.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I can see that.
This shit is crazy.
I can't see the comments if anybody's saying anything. It was on my screen, but I think maybe because my battery is a little low. Sometimes when I come in on a StreamYard, I don't have like the chat thing at the bottom. It's just, excuse me, like us at the top, and then that's it. It just depends on the day. But
Either way, like regardless of the
well,
different conclusions
okay.
and the
I just
different
came up to say hello and explain what I was saying about the Russians.
Okay.
But look,
Thank you, my love.
hopefully this doesn't get uh taken down by YouTube or anything. I don't know if I said too much,
no, it shouldn't,
but but I'll let y'all get back to
it
talking
shouldn't get
about the.
taken down because you were just talking. You're not showing the video or nothing that that's where it'll get taken down. You're just giving your opinion right now.
Oh, I just you
So
never know
you're not
what's
showing
safe to say
the other.
anymore. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
just trying to tell you by experience. Like it's the videos that mess people up more than anything. It's not as much your opinion, it's more the videos. But like certain words like the jab, yeah, you're not allowed to say it.
Right.
I say jab
Which
in
is
order not
crazy
to say the word.
because that's ridiculous because that's something that affected the whole world, and I don't understand why people
They don't. I know
aren't
why. You
allowed
gotta
to
go down
They're
talk
the
about
rabbit
it.
hole.
yeah.
You gotta go down the rabbit hole to figure it out.
Yeah, I
That one,
think
like,
Okay.
they know. They know. Do they really? Do they even know why they don't want it? I swear, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I mean you can figure it. That's why I say, look, listen. I like listening to people's different perspectives, people's different opinions, and
yeah,
listen. I could agree, I could disagree. Like at the end of the day, everyone is going to come up with their own conclusion. An opinion is an opinion. It doesn't make it factual. It doesn't make it
right.
truthful. You just look up what you're saying, and figure out our stuff and come up with our own conclusions. Like I tell everybody, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to
Yeah,
learn. And
yeah,
what you're saying is
Right.
going to
Right.
teach me something, will take me to another route and show me something else. So why put you down or bring you down or judge you for what you're telling me when instead
What,
I
McLaren?
could take
Stop
what
it.
you're saying and go
right.
learn something else and
Yep.
figure out what you're saying is true or not. But before I say you're a liar, before you say you're not speaking facts, I need to go do my own research.
Yeah.
Well, if you
I
want
can't.
to research the guy that got arrested for lying to the FBI about the Bidens taking that money,
Hmm.
his last name is I think his name is Alexander Smirnov. I just remember his name being after liquor, but you can
Oh
go.
wow.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
there's several. He himself he's not Russian. He's
Okay.
I don't forgot what country he's from, but you know he also had like $6 or $16 million in the bank, but he lied and said he didn't have that kind of money because at first they let him get a bond, but they were like, we need him back in jail. And
Wow.
so yeah, because
Okay.
because he had money, right? He had ties to the Russians, and because at first
Hmm.
I think he had like a leg monitor, but they went and rearrested his ass. Which so
Crazy.
yeah, but his last name is Smirnov. That part I remember. I think it's
Okay.
Alexander Smirnov. So you can research that if you want.
Sure.
But anyway, that's all I came up to
Yep.
share. You guys can get back to talking about the children. Miss April, I love you.
I love you too, love. And thank
Okay,
Yep.
you.
Yep.
you're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Same to you. And
Yep.
listen,
Okay,
guys.
yeah. This
Yep.
has really been a great show. And
Hmm.
yes, I have been following Ryder. She didn't think I was watching her videos. And I kept telling her, if you need me to help you with anything, remember, I would say just let me know.
Yep.
And I see where she posted the petition that she wants people to sign. So I'm going to help her with that, get as many people as I can. And, you know, whatever needs to be done, because there do needs to be. I do feel like some cameras in the classrooms. Something needs to be done. Yeah, and
For sure.
so
I mean,
yeah,
well, I'm gonna get over into the camera situation
and
one of
I
these
thank
days.
all of y'all. Young Riaz, we're about to end. Um, I was looking for you to bring you up. Um, I just thank everybody for rocking and staying with me. This show was starting off to to um to be um you know where leave me alone. I don't I'm not messing with anybody. I'm just doing me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, all of this trolling and all of this stuff. You know, even those people that have disrespected me and stuff, I done forgave them people, and I done moved on. You know,
Right.
I don't take this YouTube stuff to heart, and
Right.
so when I'm sitting there in somebody else's channel and I'm looking at this, you know, that was sort of mind blowing. And I'm gonna tell you, people, y'all keep on um trolling people and thinking that you are doing something to people, and you might find yourself in a situation you can't handle. So you need to be careful. Swoop, I love you with everything in me. Swoop is like me, a mature lady. What I respect about Swoop and stuff is she was doing like I was doing, talking to some of the younger people,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to keep them in check. And I really appreciated what Swoop did with Buddha, and I let her know that, and I let Buddha know the same thing, because Buddha, you know, had did something that shocked me, but I wasn't mad with her, forever. I got past it. I realized some of these people are young, and but also at the same time, how you act on YouTube sometimes might be how people foresee you, and so you don't want that neither. Um, and hey, it is what it is. I ain't even tripping. They seen it. Way this show went. Hey, I'm gonna have to find me a mod. I want to help. I said, girl, I
Miss
will come and help you, or do
Miss April,
whatever,
you got 3 months.
because it's
Miss April, you got 3 mods.
huh.
You know that? I said, you got 3 mods, right? Rocking with the Truth Rose, Soup like
Yeah,
me,
but the truth, she works. She be
and
working.
Just
I'm
B.
gonna have to. Yeah. Um. And so I guess I'm gonna have to find a mod that can come on the shows. But see, I don't have a set schedule. I just come on whenever I do a show. It's not planned, because whenever I have a schedule, it seems like something comes up.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's why I don't plan mine.
Oh, hey, True Strong Warrior. And hey, Tracy. Tracy, True Strong Warrior is a real beautiful, intelligent lady too. Check her out. She still works in IT. I bring it. She's a big government worker. She does all kind of programs and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
cool.
And so we got some very, what people had to realize. You don't even know the smart, intelligent people that are on YouTube that might could help you in this life. It don't have to be, help does not have to come financially. Health will come Help will come from, like, today you learned you can call pharmaceutical companies, get help. It doesn't always have to be monetary. You
Yep.
know, when people help you, just giving good advice,
Yep.
and then learning about the school, and then having a school teacher, come up here and explain why it's sort of hard because the kids are minors. But I do think that they can get around that some type of way, even if they just tape it, and then if something happens, then they can bring somebody in, because you're not supposed to be able to show the kids faces and stuff. And then with the hacking problems, does anybody know what's going on with these hackers? Like they hacked into certain stuff, and then they hacked into Facebook. I think that is very scary. What
Hmm.
about your?
Everything nowadays is gonna get hacked. Like I tell everybody, because everything is smart. Like smart TV, smart cell phones, smart
Yep.
everything. Everything is
Hmm.
just smart.
Yeah.
So it's easier for people to get hacked. But like as I was telling people, like I could talk about the cameras on my page a little more because listen, they passed it for the school buses to have it. The school buses wasn't allowed to have it either for the
Oh, I
same
know.
reason, for the
And you
privacy of the
know, I
child.
was I was trying
But
to look for a part-time job, and so there's a lot of ladies that I know, they worked on school buses,
Oh,
and they was like, oh no, Miss April, them kids something else.
they're
uh-uh
scary. Yes.
But thanks to them cameras and them school buses now, we was
Yes.
able, couple parents were able to get justice on their kid. But they had to come at the people that were running the surveillance system too, for the simple fact that, listen, man, how did it take months for these motherfuckers to sit here and tell the
Right.
school that a child got ate in a goddamn school bus in the back and the driver didn't even notice because he couldn't get up to find out what the whole altercation was in the back of the bus. He just
Yeah.
told him to stop. Instead of pulling over, you could pull over as a bus driver and figure out. We understand that, they need to aid and everything. I understand that. But it doesn't take the fact that when you hear a bunch of crowded kids back there saying something's happening and a driver doesn't get up, he doesn't stop the bus, find a way to pull over to find out what's going on, and underneath your nose, a child gets raped. Let's make that make sense. And then it was under the surveillance camera, and they didn't even notify the school. It took for the parent to come up to the school because she
Wow.
noticed that something was wrong with her child. She
Yeah.
demanded and fought. And when she fought for it was when they showed her this. Then she found out that they knew about this. They held on to it for months because the security person was too lazy to even look at the camera and notice that something happened at that moment. What was
Wow.
you doing? Your job is to be on this camera. See, that's why I said it goes deeper, but we need to
Hmm.
get up. We need to speak up. Like, that's why I got this poem right here. If you don't mind, Miss April, like I can read it real quick. And
Go ahead and read it.
it's called No More Distractions, right? And it goes like this. No more distractions. Let's make a stand. Using them as tools to break this land. We'll dismantle the system piece by piece, empowered by focus. Our resolve will not cease. Eyes wide open, no looking away. Every distraction, a chance to sway. We'll disrupt the norm, shake up the ground. With purpose and clarity, a new path is found. Together we rise, united and strong, turning distractions into where we belong. No longer held back by what's around. We'll use it as fuel to break this system down. Like, we're focused on the distractions. Ain't none of us willing to come together. It's either money, power, or greed that's got somebody tied up on something.
Yep.
Like, I'm not wrong. Like, like it's so many ways we can come together and fix the system. Even like Miss the lady that was on the panel earlier, and she was talking about, like I understand where she was coming from with the camera and the privacy and everything else she was saying
Mm.
was true though. I agree with her. But on the camera part, I disagree because if you go do your research a little more, you could like look, listen, regardless of anything, the only way that this child has any justice against a judge when something happens is either if they got some type of proof. And without no proof, is your child's word and your word against the system. That's how it is. So it's like Monique said on one of the like when you know how when Shannon Sharp just interviewed Monique and she recorded what's his name? They like, oh, that's against the rules, but she needed evidence. It was her word against him.
Yeah.
So my thing is right now is our kids' words and the parents that are fighting with their kids against the system because not all judges are going to look, okay, this is your child's first offense. They don't care. If your child reacts back and there's a teacher involved and your child accidentally hits a teacher or reacts back to a teacher hitting this teacher back, it's your child that still gets in trouble. Not this teacher. This teacher doesn't get fired. You have to fight to get a teacher fired or taken out. Like we had to sit here and fight to get this principal out, or it was going to go sideways. Like we have to make that stand. But I don't know what is holding people back. It could be either fear, it could be, I don't know. But I do know that a lot of people are woke and they just don't care. They're just making excuses for why they shouldn't stand up, why this shouldn't happen. I'm not looking for an excuse. I'm looking for a way through. Like, we need to help these kids, or we're going to end up with no kids in the future. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's so many ways we can go about it. That's why I say, yo, listen, I'm putting this book out
Oh
there.
yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
reach a lot of people at once, and while I'm talking and while I'm putting this footwork in, I'm gonna keep putting these books out there, and hopefully, I got it to the point where they can go into the schools, the kids can read them, teachers can buy everything. Like, it's getting promoted everywhere. So, like, I'm putting it through poetry. People don't want to hear me talk like this, and some people get offended. I was like, all right, a lot of people will hear through the poetry, and there's a lot of people out there, and I did not know. I just learned this, that through the book community, my word can get spread out bigger, further. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, damn, the
So
community.
that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to look into that type of stuff.
I was like, we can't keep having no more excuses. We're making too many excuses of why we shouldn't do something. So when is it that we're gonna do anything? Like, by the time we end up speaking up and fighting for our kids, there won't be no kids. I think I have the phone for that, but I have to look for it. I don't even know which one is it.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the show so I can go out to the store. Thanks to everybody for joining us.
Thank you, Miss April, for letting me up. I'm gonna go
Thank
down
you.
so you can
Yep.
statement.
Thank you so much, Miss April.
Okay.
Take care.